The margin trap is a silent e-commerce killer when it comes to conversion optimization, because it makes you think your CRO efforts are actually working, but in reality, you're just really shrinking your profits and working against the grain. Now, for the past 9 years, my team at SplitBase has been running optimization programs for 8 and 9-figure brands, and we've seen this happen pretty much with brands of all sizes. So here's exactly how it shows up and how to avoid it. Now, the first thing you should know is that the margin trap really happens when the goal of a conversion optimization program is primarily to increase a company's conversion rate, or in parallel, when the goal is really just to increase top-line revenue. And now I'm sure you're thinking, well, what the hell is the problem? Is it that what I want to do? Is it that what we always want to focus on, conversion rate, revenue? Well, to that I say yes, you probably want to increase both. However, it should never be at the expense of your margins and profit. Now, if you're optimizing and your margins and profit decline when you're doing CRO, well, that probably means that your incentives aren't properly aligned. For example, well, if your number one goal is to increase your conversion rate, you could test reducing your prices, you could test launching new sales and promotions, and yes, your conversion rate will go up. So whoever's incentivized to increase their conversion rate might get a big thumbs up because they've increased conversion rate and potentially even gotten a spike in revenue. But then, on the flip side, if you look at your profits, maybe you never actually made more in profit with all of that done, and it could also be horrendous for the business in the long term. Another example is actually pretty common, and it doesn't happen with every brand, but when merchandising products on a website and deciding which products to push to customers, well, a marketer's first reflex might think, I'm going to push, whatever has the highest conversion rate or whatever is most expensive. But for some brands, that may be a great move. And for some brands, it may be a really bad move. Because I've seen it countless times. The highest converting or most expensive products doesn't always have the best margins or the best lifetime value, and isn't necessarily the one that we should push the hardest, right? And if that's the case and those products are pushed, well, then you will see revenue and conversion rate going up, but your profits and your margins might actually go down, right? And that is the margin trap at the core. So while I gave you here 2 simple examples, this can probably show up in dozens of countless different ways and in ways you probably never thought even possible. But the good thing, though, is that it's actually quite simple to avoid. Because the first thing to do is just to provide the right information to whoever is optimizing for you so they can make the right decision, right? If that team of marketers, if those optimizers don't have access or know nothing about your margins and the lifetime value for that comes with each product, they won't know what's most preferable. So they will lean into the common knowledge, which would be to increase conversion rate or just push, the most expensive product. And you can't blame them for that. Now, the second most important part is you don't want to incentivize for the wrong metrics. So for example, on conversion rates alone, because while that's probably a topic for another video, conversion optimization isn't really just about conversion rate. It's really about optimizing a user experience to benefit your main business objectives. And while yes, the conversion rate might be part of the story, it isn't always the answer, right? So if we want to sum this up, the margin trap is really when you're optimizing for the wrong things. It makes success look apparent, but at the end of the day, it ends up hurting your bottom line. And ultimately, you can really avoid it by just making sure your team is properly aligned with your financials and your business objectives. So that's it for today. If you want more of this, like and follow to more. I'm Raphael of SplitBase, and see you in the next video.